Thanks, Gregor. Morning, Josh. What's your group hoping to get out of this series with the Leafs here?
Morning. I would say, hoping to try to get a couple wins, obviously. But, you know, they're the top team in the division, and we want to, we're coming off a little break here. So we want to get our game right here in the next stretch before the end of the season to put ourselves in the best position going into the playoffs.
We'll go next to Jason Bell from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jason.
Good morning, Josh. Just thinking about the year that you've had 45 games in, you play, top minutes. The last couple of seasons, you've had some time on the shelf with injury, but what is 45 games? With only 11 games left, normally you'd have played 70 behind you. But does this feel like a heavy 45 the way that this year has gone?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, just a lot of, obviously a lot of, I don't know, through 45 games, if we've played more in a shorter time span than we normally would, I would guess so. I think just we definitely went through a stretch there that's been sort of well talked about, where we really, I think, practiced once or something in a number of weeks. So it's just not a chance, you don't have a chance to practice and get that rest. But, there's been some things that are different, not traveling in between every single game on the road, being in a city for a couple of games. You're just not getting that easier to get your sleep afterwards after the first game of two in a city, or get your recovery and not sort of get that jet lag. So, yeah, I think it's definitely, been a good push, but this break for us here, I think will be good for us, and we're trying to come out of this break, feeling great and ready to get our game in the place we want it to be, heading down the stretch into the playoffs.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks, Gregor. Good morning, Josh. I want to ask you about the issue of loosening restrictions for teams that have been vaccinated. You probably saw the story surrounding Robin Lehner's comments. And of course, the issue of competitive balance for teams that can't get the vaccines yet versus the mental health benefits of ending some of the isolation. Now, it might not be an issue here with Canadian teams, but just your thoughts on which of those should get priority.
Well, so out of the two priority, what would the two priorities be? One, mental health, and sort of with the loosening of restrictions, and the other would be sort of the continuing competitive advantage. I think it's so different everywhere that it's a difficult thing to say. Obviously here in Canada, in our division, it's not an option, as you referenced, so it's not something that I've put a whole lot of thought into. I do feel, certainly I think the NBA has some different rules regarding, percentage of team that's vaccinated. Maybe then they loosen some restrictions on, I think it's testing on, and I don't want to say because I'm not sure, but I think it's a tricky situation that obviously we've never gone through before. And I totally understand where players are coming from that have been vaccinated and nothing has really changed for them in their daily life other than having the vaccine. So to be honest, I haven't thought a whole lot about it here, but I do think, the mental health toll that everyone's gone through, no matter who you are over the last year and a bit, has been tough. So I think we're all hoping and wanting to get back to a lifestyle that resembles what it was prior to the pandemic, and wanting to get back there as soon as possible. And certainly, once you get the vaccine, I think that's sort of been the marker for us all of, if we can get the vaccine, get it rolled out, and then we can go back to normal. So it's, I understand the frustration. I understand the idea of the competitive advantage. But I do think that, if it's safe, that's always been the number one priority, is safety. And if they feel that loosening some of the restrictions for the guys that have been vaccinated, to allow them to sort of live their lives, and it doesn't affect the safety of it, then I don't see why that would be an issue. In my mind, I think, why not give them some more freedom if it's safe and they've got the vaccine?
We'll go next to Mark Masters from TSN. Go ahead, Mark.
Josh, how much confidence does Connor Hellebuyck inspire in the skaters in front of him when he's in the net?
I mean, just so much confidence, especially as a defenseman, knowing he's back there and you know, just how well he's played for us for a long time now. It gives you a ton of confidence just go play. You know, he's bringing his game, and he's just so solid in the net. He never looks out of control or rattled or you know, like anything's bothering him. He's just so calm in the net, and he works extremely hard every day, so we know he's prepared to play and prepared to be at his best. So I think that just sort of radiates out through the team. The rest of the guys feel that, and you feel that confidence that your goaltender's there to back you up and give you a chance to win.
Go next to Michael Trakos. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey Josh, just further to that, and I don't want to jinx things by what I asked, but in terms of Hellebuyck, does he give you guys a competitive advantage over the other teams in the North? And nothing against the other goalies in that division, but when you're talking about a reigning Vezina winner, do you feel like you guys have an advantage every time he go on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, not relative to any other teams even, but just I feel like every time we go on the ice, you know, I think so highly of Connor and obviously his game that yeah, I feel like every night we have a chance to win when he's in the net, no matter who we're playing against. So, you know, I do feel like whether it's against teams in our division, obviously that's all we play this year, but no matter who we're playing, I feel like I think so highly of him, and obviously that's why he won the Vezina last year, and I think he can duel it out with any goalie in the league. So I think it gives us confidence every night.
And final question, back to Jay Bell. Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, Josh, just, you know, I know that Paul and his staff have to really balance things as far as, you know, the need for practice and the need for rest and recovery. I have to think that the last 2 days were critical for you guys. But in your own mind too, I mean, how as a player, I mean, you wonder, you know, even a day like tomorrow, whether you practice or play. I mean, are you thinking about that too? What the body needs or is more what skills you need to develop and what you need to work on as a team?
Yeah, I mean, even prior to the schedule changes, I think we all had that 3-day break originally circled on the calendar. You know, with the schedule change, it turned to 4. But when you're playing every other night, the days in between seem to move by pretty fast, and you sort of don't have a lot of time to decompress, which actually can be a good thing too. You get into a groove, and you know, you play a lot of games, and you can kind of get on a roll as a team and as a player individually. But certainly having the chance to sort of decompress, you know, spend some time at home with family or whoever you're with at home, and relax a little bit, and sort of just be out of that mental, you know, sort of grind that you go into the season. Not necessarily a grind, but just that focus level that's there when you're playing every other night. So I think coming out of this and looking forward into the next stretch of games here before the end of the season, yeah, I'm not sure the plan of practices on off days or not. I'm not sure how that'll go. Obviously, we'll see, but yeah, I think it's critical to get rest. But when there are opportunities to practice, I do think it's valuable to just stay sharp and work on some, you know, some special teams, for example. And so we'll probably take advantage of some of those opportunities here, I would guess, in the last stretch of weeks.